Right now at 5, Prairie du Chien declares a state of emergency for excess flooding.
And a federal aid program makes a massive restoration project possible.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. La Crosse police are investigating multiple shots fired incidents. According to LCPD, officers responded to the 100 block of 3rd Street North around 1 a.m. Friday. Investigators say a fight led to a shooting and one vehicle was hit by gunfire. No injuries were reported.
Monday, police responded to a second shots fired incident on the 500 block of Hood Street. That was a little after 11:15 p.m. Police found shell casings between 5th and Adams Street and 6th and Hood. Police say no injuries have been reported.
Police are asking anyone with information related to these active investigations to call LCPD at the number on your screen.
Bond is set for the man accused of a Trempealeau County road rage homicide. Today, a judge set a $1.5 million cash bond for 61-year-old Todd Geek. He faces various charges, including first-degree reckless homicide. He's accused of shooting and killing a man during a road rage incident on May 15th in Ettrick. He'll be back in court for his initial appearance July 15th.
Police are searching for a man who failed to appear in court on charges of assaulting a nurse. 68-year-old Wayne Sorensen of Decorah was arrested in April after attacking a nurse at Gunderson and La Crosse. He was charged with a felony count of bodily harm or threat to healthcare provider or family. According to the criminal complaint, Sorensen has a history of mental health issues and was in the hospital for treatment. On April 24th, Sorensen signed a signature bond for his charges, agreeing to appear back in court on June 18th. Now a bench warrant has been issued.
City leaders in Prairie du Chien have declared a state of emergency as the Mississippi is expected to continue out of its banks following the week's storms.
News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall is live on St. Ferrioli Street Island, where they're already seeing the effects. Jeremy.
Yeah, Emily, the flooding along the river has caused city officials to shut down the island at midnight on Friday. Just to give you an idea of how bad the flooding is, you go to the right of me, this bike path behind me submerged. You go to the left of me, parking spots right by the dock submerged. Now, the National Weather Service is predicting the river to rise to 20.3 feet by next week. Passes will be available to business owners to check on their businesses throughout the week, but no one else will be allowed on the island until officials deem it safe to return. The Villa Luis Historic Site is also closed until at least Sunday. Right now, North Main Street is closed from McLeod to Miller, as is the Washington Street Bridge connecting the island to the main lot. Now, coming up at 6, we'll be speaking to city officials about how they prepare for events like this and what they're anticipating this weekend. For now, live in Prairie du Chien, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, St. Ferriol Island definitely prone to flooding each year in that region. And for the Mississippi River, we will be near on flood watch essentially for the end of this week, Greg, but then that level will stay there for a little while.
It's going to stay there. That's the one problem with how big it is. It does take a long time for that water to get through the system. The good news is the Wisconsin going into Prairie du Chien area is not expected to rise much too, so they're just going to be dealing a lot with the Mississippi, but the combined is going to keep them high. But overall for today, we still have humidity going on right now. But back to the river, the good news is besides the Mississippi, all the smaller ones have started to come down or cresting right now. So a lot of the flood warnings for the rest of them have been dropped. They're in action, they'll stay high, but the good news, they're not going to be bad. There's your drop in dew points. It's slowly starting to come back down. And notice to the west, a big drop in the dew points. And that's a measure of moisture. We were 70, now we're about 64 here. So this evening, not expecting any activity up in Eau Claire. We should be fine with the cloud cover here and there. A little bit more cloud cover, maybe a shower or a sprinkle potentially, but I think we'll remain dry. Temperatures will be lowering back down. There's the amount of precipitation that's really not reaching the ground, but there's your cloud cover. And temperatures did get quite high today, given that we did have some warmth in this area, but that's not going to be the problem going overnight. Just some cloud cover and maybe a shower along most areas, but it should remain quiet. Now coming up, we do have a few more showers for Wednesday, but tomorrow you're going to notice the drop in the temperature. Today was the humidity, tomorrow's going to be the temperatures, but we do have more systems coming towards the end of the week, so we'll time that all later in the broadcast.
All right, thank you, Greg. Well, southeastern Wisconsin voters have enough signatures to trigger a recall for the state's top Republican. The Wisconsin Elections Commission says voters in Robin Voss's old assembly district have collected just enough valid signatures to force a recall. The 6 elections officials will now vote whether to order a recall election later this week, but it's unclear if the 2022 or the brand new district lines would be used in a recall. Republican voters have targeted Vos because he has refused to decertify President Biden's 2020 win in the state and also refused to impeach Elections Administrator Megan Wolf. If granted, a recall would be held August 6th. Now, if Vos loses that, he'd only be out of office for the rest of this year. He could then still win the general election in November and be back in office in January.
A Madison area judge says disabled voters should be able to vote electronically from home this fall. Dane County Judge Everett Mitchell has granted a temporary injunction in an ongoing lawsuit over disabled voters' rights. The injunction lets voters who certify they can't read or mark a paper ballot without help to request absentee ballots through email for this November. Monday, the state's attorney general argued against the lawsuit. He said elections officials won't have enough time to train local clerks on handling electronic ballot requests or creating ballots that work with disability assistance devices. Plaintiffs behind the lawsuit argued the state already has an electronic ballot system for military and overseas voters. Disabled voters will still have to mail the ballots back to clerks or return them in person.
A conservation area in Crawford County just got a major upgrade.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains how a federal aid program made it possible. Allison.
Ken and Emily, more than 11,000 trees were planted this spring at the Plum Creek Conservation Area, thanks in part to the USDA. The project will provide much needed habitat to the area's species. Although it doesn't look like much now, give it time and this land will transform into a forest. The Mississippi Valley Conservancy manages Plum Creek, and this May they planted 11,200 trees across 18 acres. The effort is partially funded through the USDA's Conservation Reserve Program.
If there's species that you're looking to protect that are endangered, they can pay you, cost share some of the establishment costs, so help paying for the trees and getting them on the site, and then also giving us a annual payment.
And for the next 15 years, the CRP will help fund ongoing maintenance at the land. Wright says with the funding, they could plant a diverse mix of trees, something he believes will benefit local species as well. And there's another CRP-funded project coming to Plum Creek. In the fall, the Conservancy will convert 172 acres of row crop into prairie plants. Ken and Emily?
All right, thank you, Allison.
Well, the company is forging a path to provide rural Minnesota with better internet. They broke ground in Dakota, Minnesota to begin replacing old internet lines with fiber optic ones. Fiber optic internet, or fiber, is a high-speed internet connection that works by sending light signals through cables made of thin strands of glass. It's according to CenturyLink. This project will provide 623 locations in the Dakota area, including businesses and farms, with fiber internet. The CEO says this project is a response to increased demand for high-speed internet.
Since COVID, we found out that there's been a lot more people working from home and not going to the office as much. That has increased substantially. So while they're working from home now, they're not going to have any limitations on what they can do to get their work done.
That project is expected to last until fall of 2025 and cost around $8 million. It received $3.2 million in grants, and the company invested close to $7 million to help finish the project.
The Surgeon General sounds the alarm about gun violence in America.
What he wants to address as he details a public health crisis in a first-of-its-kind advisory.
Ashley's Stars and Stripes mattress sale is going on now. Save up to $500 on select mattresses. Plus pay 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase on all in-store purchases. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
The phone rang, and she said, "Mom, we're gonna lose the baby." Doctors knew that Amanda's baby had no chance of surviving.
And because of the extreme abortion ban in her state, we were also about to lose her. Doctors were not allowed to help her until she was almost dying.
We have always been conservative.
But we feel a national abortion ban would be devastating for all families.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey. a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
People of another age, yep. Howdy Doody Time, the Ed Sullivan Show, the Mickey Mouse Club. You remember, getting in and out of that tub just isn't quite as easy as it once was. We make life easier for older folks like me. New walk-in shower, a personal shower, a seat if you like. Seriously, be safe. Call the Board Store. Let us make your bathroom safe and beautiful. Contact the Board Store today.
A storm damage message from Knutson Roofing. If the roof on your home, business, church, or school was damaged by recent storms, call your local roof repair expert, Knutson Roofing at 715-ROOFING. Trust a local company with thousands of references to fix your roof, not the drive-through town companies that show up after a storm. Knutson Roofing, local, dependable. Did we say local? Call 715-ROOFING today.
Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale is going on now. Don't miss these mattress hot buys, now only $7.99. And get a free adjustable base upgrade with an Align by Ashley Sleep mattress purchase. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
The nation's top doctor says gun violence impacts Americans, even if they aren't directly involved in a shooting.
Dr. Vivek Murthy took steps today to address the concern. Our Natalie Brand has more details from Washington, D.C.
Scenes like this one earlier this month, a shooting at a Michigan splash park that wounded 9 people, including 2 children, have prompted the U.S. Surgeon General to declare gun violence a public health crisis.
My hope is that if we understand this as a kids issue, that we will raise it on the priority list, that we will see it not as a political issue, but as a public health issue that should concern all of us.
A landmark advisory from Dr. Vivek Murthy sounds the alarm that gun violence is now the leading cause of death for children and teens. And more than half of adults say they or a family member have experienced a gun-related incident.
We don't have to live like this, and I lay out a series of strategies in this advisory that can help us reduce the profound toll of gun violence and help recognize that this is an issue that's infiltrated the psyche of America.
The 40-page document calls for solutions from stricter gun laws, including a ban on assault weapons, to community involvement, even talking about safe gun storage at the doctor's office. The NRA says the answer is to prosecute criminals and not restrict gun rights.
Does something need to change with respect to laws that help keep people safe from gun violence?
Sure. I think that there needs to be a bigger focus on giving DAs and prosecutors the tools they need to put dangerous criminals where they belong, and that's in jail, behind bars.
The Surgeon General says gun violence is also taking a toll on mental health. He says nearly 80% of adult Americans stress about the possibility of a mass shooting, and half of all high school-age kids worry about a shooting in their school. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Congress passed bipartisan gun safety legislation 2 years ago following the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. But since then, new gun safety measures have stalled.
Cities across the country are struggling to find enough lifeguards.
What one expert says may be the cause of the staffing shortage.
And although we might see some showers tonight and maybe for your morning commute, we'll have increasing clouds Thursday. The good news is we got mainly dry and cooler conditions for your Wednesday going into your Thursday. We'll kind of break down what the temperatures look like and when we might see the next chance of rain. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Bygoff and Rohde had your back then, and we have your back now. We've been Wisconsin's personal injury powerhouse for over 50 years. Bygoff and Rohde. Serious injuries need serious lawyers.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been working, lowering health care costs and making big corporations pay their fair share. This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on outdoor power equipment at Menards. Tame unruly landscapes with ease using the Masterforce 80-volt string trimmer with Flex Connect. Seamlessly transition between attachments, including a hedge trimmer, pole saw, brush cutter, and edger. Own the outdoors with Masterforce outdoor power equipment and start your landscaping project today. The 80-volt string trimmer kit is $229.99, and each Flex Connect attachment is $54.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your Best Choice GMC dealer today.
Your journey to wellness begins at Vernon Memorial Healthcare, where excellence in orthopedic care is a reality. From initial consultation to post-operative recovery, every step of the way is tailored to you. The numerous awards for orthopedic services are a testament to our entire team's skill and dedication. Your path to wellness is paved with our unwavering support and expertise. Trust us for a brighter, more active tomorrow. Vernon Memorial Healthcare.
By Goff and Rohde, we've been Wisconsin's personal injury powerhouse for over 50 years, and we have the #1 personal injury attorney in Eau Claire. By Goff and Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, the summer swimming season is in full swing, but many beaches and community pools are struggling to find enough lifeguards to keep everyone safe.
Yeah, the American Lifeguard Association says there are numerous reasons for the shortage, including the pandemic disrupting training programs and the notion that lifeguarding is usually viewed as a summer job and not a profession.
Tom Griffiths from the Aquatic Safety Research Group says the shortage is creating serious safety issues.
The CDC in Atlanta has found that the drowning rate is actually increasing in the United States. And we think the lifeguard shortage has a lot to do with that, as well as pools shortening their hours, eliminating programs.
The Lifeguard Association says more training opportunities and incentives like higher pay will go a long way in addressing the chronic shortage. Well, a day like today, the pool does sound pretty nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a little muggy out there, wasn't it?
Pretty humid. And I guess the question is, Greg, are we going to get more of that later in the week?
We're actually going to see much cooler conditions going into Wednesday, and then the humidity may come up briefly, but I really think we're not going to see too much in the hot and humid conditions probably for the next week and a half. Really, we've still got some showers through tonight and through the morning commute. We got another little cold front that'll be kind of digging south through the area, and there'll be cooler air behind that. So definitely cooler tomorrow. The humidity will be lower, but also the temperature will be definitely lower. And then dry Thursday, we do have wet conditions coming back in late Thursday night, probably through Friday as another system comes through once again. Right now, really all the complex that we saw last night is pushed to the east, but we're still in this westerly flow, and there's activity out to the west that's going to kind of flow our direction. Plus, there's a front up to the north that's going to be digging south, so we'll get some of that cooler Canadian air come through, but it's going to be probably through tomorrow that we'll start seeing that. So really tonight, we're just going to see on and off cloud cover, really kind of centered around I-90 and a little bit further south. Temperatures will kind of cool off a little bit tonight, but still kind of mild, not going back into the 60s. And here's that little bit of a shower, sprinkle, mainly just cloud cover, really not too many areas will see that. Less as you go further north, more as you go further south. Notice the temperatures too, upper 60s to the south, more to the upper 50s, giving you an idea that there is some cooler air eventually coming. Here's that really area just of light rain or showers along the front that's going to kind of come through the morning commute. Very light rain, a lot of areas won't see it. Centered right around I-90, probably around 6 to 7 is when you can see a little bit of enhancement, probably west of the area to see some light rain showers or just light rain. It won't last that long. It'll kind of start falling apart as you go further south. So if you're along that direction and southward, you might see a wet commute for about an hour. Areas up to the north will not. Notice the temperatures by midday, we're starting to clear out, but in the mid-70s and that north wind. So you'll definitely feel the cooler conditions there through the afternoon. Some more cloud cover develops in the afternoon, heating up to the north. Temperatures around 70 up to the north to maybe 80. But that dew point and the humidity, you'll feel much more like low 50 dew points. So it'll be refreshing, cool, kind of pleasant conditions. And it'll be actually clearing skies as we go into Thursday morning, which means it's going to be actually a little bit cooler too as we go through that time frame. But the good news is, as we go through Thursday, the winds begin to turn around to the south. We'll see increasing clouds. It'll remain dry. That system out to the west will be approaching, but we should see milder conditions, still low dew points, low humidity, but it will start increasing a little as we go through Wednesday, Thursday into Thursday night, because that system will be approaching, and that has the rainfall going with it. We'll get more details as we get closer to that. This dot in the background gives you an idea of stream flow, how high above average it is. And you can see most of the dots around the area with all the rivers and creeks are well above 90% or even very high. Hopefully we'll start seeing these go down, but that gives you an indication that we are starting to see quite a bit. But overall, the river levels for the Mississippi, still the crest is expected to be this weekend or maybe Thursday. These levels will remain probably for a good week, as it takes a long time to get that water through the system. But for tonight, a few showers, mainly I-90 further south. We'll have a little bit more for the morning commute. But otherwise, we go through tomorrow. Once we get rid of those showers in the morning, then it should be fairly pleasant, much cooler going into Thursday. The shower chance rain comes back in for Friday. But then Saturday and Sunday, especially the second half of Saturday, definitely going to feel the cooler conditions, mid-70s in a lot of areas. May see some overnight lows in the 40s coming in. So a little chilly. But I'll take that. You know, a lot of people will. But yeah, definitely something to keep in mind for this weekend.
All right. I'll appreciate the cool down.
Yeah,
thank you, Greg.
A plane makes an emergency landing on a South Carolina freeway.
The gravity-defying stunt after the break.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to LaCrosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
Senator Baldwin says I'm not from Wisconsin. But this was my childhood home. Graduated East High. Became a Badger in '86, where I've had my company for over 20 years.
And this is where we live. It's our family home.
I'm a fourth-generation Wisconsinite. It made me who I am. If Senator Baldwin's not going to be honest with you about where I'm from, what makes you think she'll be honest with you about anything? I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
One day only, this Thursday, June 27th. Save big on Hy-Vee butter, just $2.99. Washington red cherries, just $2.77 a pound. 6-pack bottles of Coke products, just $2.99. Gatorade 8-packs, just $4.99. Hy-Vee shredded cheese, 3 for just $4. And buy one, get one free Doritos. Get these great deals and more Thursday only and only at Hy-Vee.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Now get financing as low as 1.9% for 66 months, plus up to $3,000 FlexBuy cash on select Ford SUVs. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to LaCrosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
Stories are told on our Instagram at WKBT News 8. Or you can always find us at news8000.com. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
A flight instructor in South Carolina is being celebrated for an emergency landing last week.
And Nicole Smith landed her small plane on Interstate 77 after a mechanical issue showed up. Sam Shapiro reports.
And in the moment, I was just doing what I was taught to do.
All smiles from flight instructor Nicole Smith on Friday, following a flight that could have ended badly Thursday night. Smith and her aviation student took off around 6 Thursday night when they experienced a mechanical failure about 40 minutes into the flight. She says she and her student heard some clicking noises in flight while going over flight procedures. She believes a cylinder piece fell out of the plane, playing a part in the mechanical failure. This led her to look for a quick landing.
My thought at the time was just to make sure that I didn't go into oncoming traffic. I did see the cars kind of going off on the shoulder, and I was trying to mitigate that as best as possible while still landing safely.
In her 1,500 hours of flight experience, this was the first time Smith had to emergency land. Smith says although her student was a little nervous, their combined experience in the air kept her calm and collected.
We just make sure that we use the checklist and we stay calm. My student was a little nervous, but you know, he's got about 200 hours, if that, and I have 1,500. So just having more time in the plane kind of equips you.
Authorities say there were no injuries related to that emergency landing, and traffic didn't even back up on the interstate.
In that interview, Smith said she planned to be back up in the air that very next day. Brave woman.
I know.
And I'm glad it ended okay, and she trusted her instincts with that. Like,
Absolutely.
I would have like panicked, like rushing everything.
Yeah. That's why we're not pilots,
Yeah,
we're flight
no.
instructors.
No,
But
you guys do
she's
that.
definitely got that calm demeanor. You could just kind of hear it in
Oh,
the interview.
yeah.
It probably wasn't even phased as it was
Everything was under control with them. Otherwise, us, no. Pushing buttons. Okay, we'll have another look at tonight's forecast after the break.
Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale is going on now. Save up to $500 on select mattresses. Plus, pay 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase on all in-store purchases. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Every day we battle illegal drugs coming into our community.
And we know the attacks on Tammy Baldwin are not true.
Tammy's working with law enforcement to stop the flow of fentanyl.
She brought Democrats and Republicans together
to crack down on drugs coming from China and Mexico,
giving us more tools to fight drug smugglers.
And Tammy voted 32 times to strengthen the border.
Don't believe the attacks.
It's Tammy Baldwin I trust to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Where there's a flooded basement, musty crawl space, or wood rot, there's an answer. American Water Works. For more than 30 years, American Water Works has been solving homeowners' toughest waterproofing problems. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Enjoy one of our tasty steak patty sandwiches paired with a $2 medium-iced coffee.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At Toma Health, we're committed to delivering quality obstetric and newborn care for our community.
I'm Tim Larson.
I'm Samantha Larson, and this is our son Mac Larson, and we are from Sparta, Wisconsin. I feel like they really tried to set us up for success as first-time parents.
Toma Health offers the latest techniques in gynecology, prenatal care, obstetrics, and postpartum recovery.
I just felt so supported by all the nursing staff, the doctors, everybody.
Toma Health, caring for our community.
No matter where I seat my guests, they seem to like the kitchen best. A kitchen's the heart of the home. It should be warm and welcoming. It should be attractive and functional. But it can be a real challenge unless you come here where you can meet with a designer, find all of the products that you need, and trust the project to our carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. For kitchens, bathrooms, and other home improvements, put your trust in the Board Store Home Improvements. Contact us today.
Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale is going on now. Don't miss these mattress hot buys, now only $7.99. And get a free adjustable base upgrade with an Align by Ashley Sleep mattress purchase. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
All right, tonight, maybe a few showers south La Crosse, but most areas will remain dry. Still kind of mild. Temperatures still in the 60s, a little bit less humid. Tomorrow, maybe a few showers mainly along I-90 further south. You'll definitely feel the temperature change tomorrow as we go into Thursday, dry, but then we do have rain coming back probably late Thursday night into Friday. Notice, not a lot of hot and humid conditions.
No,
throughout
not
the
at
whole
all.
8
Look
days.
at that.
Yeah, no, we'll take her.
Pretty nice.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 6.